Welcome to the regular meeting of the Ball Ground City Council. I'd like to call the meeting to order. First, we'd like our invocation by Pastor Tim Pulver. If you will stand and then remain standing, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance after.
Let's pray. Lord, thank you for the opportunity to meet tonight. Thank you for those who have put lots of time into putting this meeting together, all the different things that are going to be discussed. We ask for your help tonight in a few ways. First, we ask that you would bless our city council members and our mayor and those that are on staff here at the city. Thank you for what they do and what they give each and every day, their lives and their time to serve us. And we just pray that you bless them for that. We pray that you give them wisdom in the decisions that are made, those that are made tonight and those that are made going forward. That those will be made choosing the best and not just what's good, but what's best. I pray that they would choose to do what's right in the face of what might be expedient or what is easy. And we just ask for wisdom for them as they do those things and as they think through these things, that they would think through them with the citizens in mind. And we ask that you would bring peace and prosperity to our city. I ask that you would help each one of us to treat each other with respect as we are made in the image of God, each and every one of us. I thank you that there are different opinions so that things can be discussed that are important to each one of us. Thank you that you make each one of us different so that there's variety in this world. But I pray that we'd be able to come to one another with graciousness because we are shown grace every single day. And so we pray that you would bless this time, bless our city, and we pray that you would do great things here, allow the city to grow in ways that are great and benefit each and every person that's here. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I like that. The picture.
Thank you, Pastor Pulver. Okay, before we take a vote on adoption of the agenda, we need to remove item B and item C. They were withdrawn by the applicant. Everything else is still go here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so with that in mind, with a modified agenda, we just need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Agenda is adopted. Mr. DeBoard, we'll move into public comments.
All right, these are the rules for public participation. The time allotted for public participation will not exceed 30 minutes. Each speaker will receive 3 minutes. If more than 10 speakers have signed up, speakers will be chosen at random. Speakers may not discuss matters excluded by the Open Meetings Act. Speakers who attempt to discuss these issues will lose the remainder of their time. Said matters include matters related to real property acquisition, matters subject to the attorney-client privilege, and matters related to personnel or employees. The following rules apply. The speaker will state his or her name upon coming to the podium. All remarks shall be made to the city council as a body and not to individual council members. No person will be allowed to make obscene, derogatory, or slanderous remarks when addressing the mayor and council. The mayor or any council member may stop comments at any time. No person will be permitted to disrupt or interfere with the proceedings. Remarks will end when the speaker's allotted time has expired, and the mayor, city council member, or city manager may question the speaker to gain clarification over particular matters. However, no speaker shall be permitted to enter into any discussion with the mayor or city council.
Okay, our first speaker signed up is Thomas Weaver.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. My name is Thomas Weaver. I reside at 131 Old Marietta Road in Canton, Georgia. I came up this evening to give you my astute thank you. I noticed that the no weapons signage has been removed from the doors of the Ball Ground City Hall Municipal Court Complex. I'm jubilant to learn that after much careful consideration, the city has decided to adhere to the laws as prescribed to you by the Georgia General Assembly. As a post-secondary side note, to the benefit of your constituents who may be in attendance, as each of you know, Mr. Mayor, members of council, the city of Ball Ground is exceedingly very safe, and there's no need to be concerned. It would be my hope that none of your constituents are alarmed by the remarks that have placed this evening. However, I did want to publicly thank the city for adhering to this, and I trust that your city manager and his police chief, Chief Chiambala, and sworn members of his agency are beyond trained and are more than well equipped to be able to accurately enforce the laws as prescribed to you by the Georgia General Assembly on this or any of the cornucopia or plethora of any other legal topics. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for recognizing me to speak. Members of council, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weaver. Our next speaker, Mr. Bill Manning.
All right, good evening. For the record, my name is Bill Manning. I am a resident here in Ball Ground, 300 John Mason Court. Many of you know me as a photographer and a filmmaker, but I also have 20 years in information security. 10 of those years as a system auditor. My job was to determine what people said actually happened and determining the truth based on evidence. I'm here tonight because I am hearing things. People in this town talk, and lately they have been talking a great deal about one developer and how decisions get made in this building. I'm here tonight because I'm not going to stand up here and repeat any of it because I can't prove it yet. That is precisely why I'm submitting this instead. Tonight, I am handing the clerk a written open records request. And I'll tell you exactly what is in it. It covers every record and communication concerning this one developer and the businesses and organizations he is involved with since January 1, 2018 through today. It applies to the mayor, all 5 councils, and to the city manager and the clerk, and the zoning, planning and zoning, and the city attorney, current and past. No exceptions, no favorites. It includes text messages and messages on personal phones and personal accounts. Under Georgia law, a public record is defined by what it contains, not by who owns the device it sits on. And as of this moment, every person named on that notice, every person named is on notice and preserve those records. No deletions, no purges, no automatic expiration, not until this request is resolved. I've asked for an itemized written estimate before any billable work begins, and for records to be produced electronically so there's nothing to print, nothing to charge for printing. I will publish what I receive, and I will publish what I don't receive, and what this city charges me for the privilege. I would ask you to be entered into tonight's minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manning. Mr. Greg Edgar.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Good evening. I'm Greg Edgar, 208 South Mountain Brook Drive, I'm coming before the body tonight as a follow-up to my comments at the April City Council meeting. At that meeting, I expressed my concerns that I felt the city was missing 3 policies, and they should be, and that they should include the mayor and city council as well. A code of ethics, a code of conduct, and a social media policy. These do exist for city employees, but the members of this body are not subject to them, except maybe in property for the city. I have to say that originally I received no response on this original talk. But in the last month, I reached out to the mayor. In addition, I reached out to the Ethics Committee co-chair this week. I did have conversation with both. I felt the meetings were positive in that they listened to my concerns. I can't tell you about the actions moving forward. I hope to see positive movement. I will repeat what I said in April. This body can and should do better. The citizens of Ball Ground deserve to see where you stand on this. I'll paraphrase what one of your members told me a year ago. If you aren't doing anything wrong, you have nothing to be concerned about. In conclusion, to the citizens I say, reach out to your representatives with your concerns. I've spoken to everyone here on the council at one time or another about concerns that I've had. And while we may not agree on these concerns and the results, they have listened. To the mayor and city council, I say, listen to the citizens. Be engaged with Ball Ground. Be transparent in your communication with us. I'll leave you with one thing, and I wrote, perception is reality. So I hope you'll remember that. What we perceive is what's real to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edgar. Mr. Dennis Holt.
Mayor and City Council, I'm sure you all know me. I email you on a regular basis and text you on a regular basis. The zoning case coming up in front of you this evening was a serious eye-opener for myself and the neighborhood, and not just because of that specific rezoning. I found out something that I didn't know had happened 3 years ago. When we bought our property in '08, it was zoned R40. Okay, and I checked on a regular basis over the years, and it was R40, R40. And then I didn't bother to check. And then this zoning case across from us, our property fronts the opposite side of 340 and 360, Old Canton. And I was asking Wyatt, who owns 360, what the heck is CCR? Why are you CCR? I said, you have an acre, you should be R40. He said, I don't know. He didn't know why he was CCR. And then I looked into it, and I looked at the zoning map, and oh my gosh, a major part of the downtown residential district, and I don't usually speak about the business district, is CCR and CCT. Well, how the heck did that happen? City apparently did a blanket rezoning 3 years ago, and personally, I'm tired of hearing we posted it. Nobody legally notified me that my property is gonna be redesignated from R40, which requires an acre for a house, to whatever the heck this is, that apparently allows 0.15 acres per lot. And that's what's being built on Valley Street, here on Chestnut Street, stuff like that. So my question is, how the heck did that happen? Now, concerning the specific rezoning, it wants to be going from CCR, which again, nobody knew was CCR, including the property owners, to CCT. Why do we need that when we have 2 acres between that and Main Street that only just recently, a few days ago, they started doing stuff to it? One side has been empty for 2 years, the other side 6 years. We have multiple businesses now open on Main Street. Why do we need to put a business in the middle of the residential historic district when all this other stuff is empty? This doesn't make any sense. I'm a scientist. I have to go by logic. This is extremely illogical to me. I don't understand this. I also don't understand why the heck I am now CCR when I was always been R40. Now, there's such a thing as, is it legal? Possibly. Is it ethical? In my opinion, absolutely not. I was not notified legally. It changed the description of my property. It changed the value of my property. Okay, without my consent, without my knowledge. And changed the thing on everybody in the neighborhood. So I've talked to basically everybody.
I'm sorry, that's time.
Tom, sorry?
Yes, sir.
And nobody knows about this.
Thank you, Mr. Holt. Next speaker, Heidi McCann.
Good evening. Heidi McCann. Do I need to give my address? Or no?
Is it required?
Is it recorded?
It's actually on the form.
Oh, yeah, it is. I'll make this short and sweet. Yesterday, I read an article which stated that data centers in Georgia are likely to demand more energy than the state can provide. I've read of concerns across the nation and across this state. And the concerns add up from use of our precious resources, especially water, to land grabs and great deals for investors, foreign and domestic, to increase utility costs, to heat islands, air pollution, and lower home values. We need time not to put off the concerns of the citizen, but for transparency and policy to protect this beautiful city, its people, and its land. The hope is that we don't align with the old adage that if you can't beat 'em, join 'em.
Thank you, Ms. McCann. Next speaker, Dana Ramirez Molina.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Dana Ramirez Molina. I'm also here concerning about the data centers. This is going to, in my opinion, this is going to affect the environment. Like she said, this is going to affect the water source, the environment here. Gonna have lots of noise, things that is unnecessary that is going to be here. I just hope that you guys will find in your heart that you would vote no to having a data center here because it's unnecessary. Thank you.
Just for some record on clarification, we have not received an application for a data center. This is a moratorium to stop applications from coming in.
Okay, next item is approval of the July 9th, 2026 regular council minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Excuse me, Mayor, I'm sorry, but I signed up to speak via email last night. Wyatt Holcomb?
I'm so sorry, I did not make a formal written request. He did email me last night. And asked if he was able to public speak.
Okay, well, we're in the middle of this right now. Let's just finish this item and then we'll bring you up. Is that okay, Mr. Holt?
I'll make a second for the approval of the minutes.
Okay, we have a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Come on up.
Apologies for.
No problem. No problem.
So I'm speaking on the rezoning Block J, 360, 340 Oak Canton Road. Just want to say that, purpose of course, city center transitional is to transition from the center of the city out, which I believe should be done in an equal, fair manner, which one might imagine a radius, that you would use for that. CCT goes as far out as 3,500 feet out Old Dawsonville Road and 2,000 feet up Old Canton Road. I am a mere 500 feet off of Main Street. Or Block J is, so I can't imagine that, it would be denied. The argument that, it's a residential area, there's residential where CCT exists now. Some of the densest area of ball ground is CCT. There are quite a few homes and small lots that are CCT. The historical argument, the oldest house in ball ground, which is next to Christine, is CCT. The house that's on the historic register, the A.R. Roberts house, is CCT. So, I don't really see, there's everything from 100-plus-year-old houses to houses that are not even occupied yet that are CCT. So, you know, I don't see that there's an argument from the historical or the residential. You know, it is to transition from the center out. Obviously, there needs to be a line picked at which, you know, how far out you're gonna go, to do that. And, you know, in the case of 340 Old Canton Road, where these ladies wanna put the chiropractic office, yeah, I believe that part of the appeal of CCT is that it actually preserves some of the older homes that are less desirable for living in. You know, we've all become accustomed to, you know, bigger rooms, larger hallways, all that kind of stuff. It actually gives an opportunity to preserve some of these homes. You know, rather than tearing down the one house that's at 340 Old Canton Road and putting 4 houses in its place, the appeal of being able to do something there commercially, you know, might save the house from being, you know, torn down, or from a developer wanting to do away with that house and replace it with several other houses. So, you know, in consideration of these items that I pointed out, and the recommendation of the Cherokee County Planning Commission, I respectfully request that this rezoning be granted. Thank you for your time. I probably should have said I'm white. Did I say that? At 360 Old Canton Road. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holcomb. Okay, we've covered item 6. We'll go to item 7, old business. Palmer?
We have no old business.
Okay. We'll move down to item 8, new business. First item, consider first reading of rezoning case number 2026-R as in Robert -02, applicant Nicole Hershowitz.
Good evening, y'all. This is the rezoning at 340 and 360 Old Canton Road. They are currently zoned city center residential. They are requesting city center transitional. There have been no changes to this application since the work session. I'll just go to the slide here just so you can kind of see the surrounding zonings. Images of the existing houses. And these are the staff recommended conditions if you choose to approve this rezoning. So, let me take any questions.
Any questions for community development?
Would the dumpsters and service areas being screened with opaque materials, does it need a condition for that to happen, or is that kind of built into?
The ordinance is unclear on that, so this is just kind of a insurance policy, if you will, just to have like a basic wood fence around if there is a large dumpster or if there is a service area.
So if it was the individual's dumpster that they use for their individual trash, would it now be with this condition that others who are CCT, would that apply to that as an unintended consequence?
I don't believe so. That wouldn't be our intent with it. Since it does specify dumpsters, we would look at more of the larger dumpsters. The residential rollout carts, we would have no problem with that as long as it's, you know, a normal amount, 1 or 2, like the normal residents would.
Probably want that clarified in there. You never know when you might have someone who will have an unintended consequence there.
Any other questions? Thank you, Logan. Okay, so we have a motion to consider the first reading.
So I'm going to make a motion for this zoning, but I'm going to clarify and add. So with the discussion that Mr. Holt has brought up and several of us in the neighborhood have recognized, and we share those same concerns, my motion will be to move forward with this rezoning with no conditions and have it be just like other CCT properties that are across from this property, so that this property has the same rights and privileges as those CCT properties. However, I will have a second motion where I will ask that the council direct staff to move forward to review the permitted uses and review those, because as we have seen and found, there are some permitted uses on there under the CCT that are they were a surprise, and they don't fit what we want in our neighborhood. So that will be, and I have I've spoken with Mr. Rogers there about how to proceed with a motion like that. So
I second your motion.
that would be, so my motion would be to move forward with
move
the
forward
rezoning
with no
without the conditions. So that's my first motion, and then I just want to follow up. My second motion will be, so after we act on that.
Can you add that to the motion that's on the table? Rather than a second motion, we have to
Okay.
clear the first one.
All right. Counselor, what do you say to that?
I would think that's appropriate for, under the one motion rule, that it should be one motion at a time.
Okay, all right. One motion at a time, so there'll be two separate motions, so we'll have to, okay.
So we have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a second. That's right, you already did. Okay, discussion.
When you say no conditions, are you saying take away like the size of the signage that can be placed out there, or, because that would be a condition for anybody in CCT, correct?
They would have to adhere to our sign ordinance in general. This is a separate type of condition that we put in there for no wall signs that are allowed. Some do allow for wall signs based off of the sign ordinance that we adopted.
But that's what they would be following, correct?
They would be following the sign ordinance that we have in place currently.
Okay, so those aren't special conditions for just this particular property, which would be 340.
This condition would be probably a special condition because we do allow for wall signs in commercial areas.
Right.
This is basically saying that they are not allowed to have a wall sign in this specific location. But if we move forward with Mr. Stansel's motion to not have any of these conditions in place, then they would have to still adhere to our sign ordinance, but that allows for a little bit more than it would allow for a wall sign, for example.
And could it allow for a sign out in the front yard?
Believe so. It could allow for a monument sign in the front yard, yes.
So I also have a question though. If we strip all the conditions off of it, the second condition is that any modifications, as it's read here, redevelopment of the site, major additions, could just happen without ever coming to council. As we've noted here, that if somebody did do the property in CCT, we get one that's there and wants to make these changes, we put it so we can make sure that the standards of what's in that neighborhood are met. But with this, we'd be stripping those away.
Yes, so with this, you would have any approval would have to come back to mayor and council. Without this condition, they are allowed to move into CCT with the permitted use as long as they follow our development standards that we have in place for all zoning restrictions. So there are development standards, architectural standards, setback requirements, all of those details are outlined, but the use will not come back to council for a vote, as long as it is on the permitted use table. If it's conditional, they'll have to follow conditions. If it's special use, that will have to come back to council for approval.
And that sticks for the history of that zoning.
Yes, sir, that would stay with the history of this parcel and this zoning here. One other note is that if they are requesting any variance, that will have to come to council for approval of a variance for any future development.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, we're ready for a vote. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Okay.
So 2-3, 3-2. Okay, so the motion fails. Your second motion that would be tied to the first.
So I'm going to make a motion that in light of the review of the CCT zoning classification and the permitted uses, that we direct staff to undertake a thorough and extensive review of the permitted uses of the CCT zoning classification. Or zoning, now you can word that. That's essentially, we need a thorough and extensive review within the next 60 days. 30, 60 days? What is, I would like it done as, so it need, I'm seeing, okay.
Is that your
60,
motion?
60 is ambitious.
60 is
Taking on
ambitious.
any zoning changes like this, we have to adhere to the state's zoning procedure laws.
Okay.
So making sure that we follow those. We will start work on it. I cannot guarantee 60 days, but we will definitely start work on it.
So how about if we say in accordance with the state of Georgia zoning procedures?
Yeah.
Can we put it at 90 days? Give them time?
90 days? Well, at 60 may be aggressive, so.
We can try 90. We can do our
90.
best.
Is that the motion? Is that the
Yes,
motion?
ma'am.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I agree completely with what Tony said, that we need a complete overhaul. And the ones that we have denied, once we get a complete overhaul, I think we would have a better vision on if those want to be brought back and be approved. Right now, I just think there's a lot of problems out there that need to be addressed, so.
And I would expect a public hearing or two in accordance with those state, so.
At least 2, for sure.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think then that will also answer the questions of how does this come about, who can go where, why can I be on it, why are they on it and I'm not? I agree fully that we need to go back and relook at it. There was a lot of zoning changes back in 2023, and these were things that didn't get caught, but now that somebody's wanting to go that route, they're popping up.
And one other comment on the zoning, and this goes for the audience. Cherokee County is going through a recode, and Cherokee County is going through an extensive change of the county's zoning regulations. So we'll probably see more changes in 2027 and 2028. Not sure about that, but you can keep up with it. County's spending a lot of our tax money on that kind of stuff, so they're trying to upgrade and update some of the zoning within the county. And our zoning, pretty much, we will follow some of that. So there'll be some changes in ball ground, but hopefully we won't have to spend that kind of money. We'll piggyback off the county to a certain degree. That's all I have to say there, but we thank you for your comments.
Just to be clear, we have a motion, this motion, but we didn't make a motion for approval or denial on the first one. There was a motion to,
The first one,
There was a first
Was
motion
failed,
to
okay.
approve with
Yeah.
no conditions
Okay.
by
Yeah.
staff.
yeah, we've got a
That
second.
Failed by a 2-3, so
Yeah.
we have not actually.
we don't have a
approved or
motion.
denied to consider the first reading.
Correct. That's
Tony
still-
just made the motion and I seconded.
That's the second
Yeah,
motion.
yeah.
The
Second
first
motion.
motion's still lingering.
Oh, is it? I thought it
The first
failed.
motion
Failed.
failed, but the second motion just to allocate staff time to clean up the permitted use table for CCT.
Okay.
But there was not a motion to approve as on the agenda as the staff has presented. That has not, if that has to be voted on.
Yes, sir. There needs to be a motion for approval with staff conditions, or denial with staff conditions.
I'm confused.
So I made the motion without the conditions because I thought this property should have the same rights and privileges as other CCT properties. I didn't want to see exceptions and being tacked on that way. So
That's the motion that failed,
that's
correct?
the motion that
Right.
failed.
2-3, correct.
So there needs to be a motion for approval or denial with staff conditions as written.
So we're gonna have a third motion on this.
Sounds, well,
So I make a
We're still-
motion that we approve the rezoning case as recommended by staff with the conditions presented.
Mr. Mayor, we're in the middle of a motion here on this second.
Yeah.
one.
Yes, we are.
Well-
You're absolutely
Oh,
right.
okay.
Okay, so we need to clear that we have a first and a second. We've already had discussion. Is there any more discussion? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that second motion carries.
And that motion for clarification is to dedicate staff time to revisit CCT zoning
Study
conditions.
for
and
extensive review.
Extensive review of CCT zoning. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay, now I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning case as presented
for the first reading.
for the first reading of the, all right, here, I'll read it.
Okay,
Consider to approve the consideration of the first reading of rezoning case 2026 R02 applicant Nicole Hershowitz.
okay, we have a motion to consider the first reading. We have a second.
So I'll second that.
Have a second. Further discussion? Hearing no discussion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
The first reading motion fails.
Mr. Mayor, if you're open for another motion, I'll make a motion on rezoning case 2026 R02 for denial.
I'll second that motion.
Council, are we on track?
We are.
Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure. There's been a lot of motions
So what's the
flying
difference
around here.
between moving?
Right.
So for
consider and
clarification,
moving to
your motion
deny?
was for approval. We still need a motion to deny it if it is going to be denied, to close the case.
Okay.
All right. We have a motion to deny.
In a second.
You have a second. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor for denial, please signify by saying aye.
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 And opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the denial passes 3-2 also. Am I correct on that? Ms. Bush? Okay. No fifth motion, right? We're good? Okay. All right, we'll move down to item D. B and C were removed earlier. Consider Barrel House Street Sounds Equipment Contract. Want to give us an update, Bone?
Yes, sir. There's been no changes since the work session last week. For clarification, this is a lease agreement that the city has in place with Barrel House Coffee, which allows us to house our computer, Wi-Fi, and street sounds equipment within their building. This lease came up for renewal back in July, and we asked legal to advise us on how to proceed. Is legal's determination that this lease agreement needs to occur by a vote of council on an annual basis. This system here, one note that has been brought to my attention is the American Society cost that's listed on this table for $485 covers our allowance to play music and also covers our allowance to allow for live music in town as well. So there's multiple uses for that price.
Okay, and the actual contract to Barrel House for the lease is $1,800 for the year.
Yes, sir.
$150 a month?
$150 a month, yes, sir.
Okay. The rest of it's the other stuff that goes
That has to go
with it.
along with the old system, yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have a motion to consider this contract?
Motion to approve the contract with Barrel House for sound equipment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item E, consider Cherokee County fire tax rate.
Yes, sir. Again, no changes since the work session last week. Last Tuesday, Cherokee County's Board of Commissioners adopted a new M&O millage rate as well as a new fire millage rate. The fire millage rate increased from 2.888 to 3.023, an increase of 0.135 millage increase. Just as a reminder, if we do not match this rate that the county has set, we still owe the fire tax amount to the county annually. We would have to source the funds to make up the difference if we were not to adopt this current rate set by the county this past Tuesday. For a rough estimate on a home valued at $500,000, we would see an increase of approximately $27 annually.
Thank you, Palmer.
Yes,
This increase will be attached to your city tax, but it goes right through us to Cherokee County Fire. We collect it solely for Cherokee County Fire tax.
Correct.
So any increases are on Cherokee County. All right, so we have considered the Cherokee County Fire tax rate. Is there a motion?
Make a motion. We adopt this.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Discussion. All right, no discussion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Item F, Zoning Board of Appeals appointment. Councilmember Homiller.
I appoint Shelby Ebert to replace Stephanie Joyner, who moved out of town. Shelby's a new homeowner, a young person who'll is very involved already. She runs the Run Club and has been involved in stuff, and will be a nice young addition to being involved with the city. And I asked her and she agreed, but we told her she didn't have to be here.
Is she here though?
No.
Okay. All right, so we have, we need a motion to approve the appointment by Councilmember Homiller.
I'll make a motion to approve for having Shelby over on the ZBA.
Okay. Any
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank-
See a case.
I do have a quick question. How long is her term?
That'll make me
Her term, Stephanie's end is going to end in January
January.
2027, so she'll be taking over Stephanie's term
Right,
ending in January.
but that was a 2-year term?
Hers was the 1-year term.
Just
when
a
we redid
1-year
the
term,
Appointments
okay.
for the ZBA, yes, ma'am.
So
She
someone else will have to be, or she can,
Right, you can
Be
reappoint her,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right, move down to item G, consider data center application moratorium.
Yes, sir. Just for some context, at the July 21st, 2026 meeting of the Cherokee County Board of Commissioners, the county voted to adopt a moratorium on data centers. This is a 30-day moratorium at the county where they're hosting a public hearing meeting on August 18th with plans to formally adopt a 180-day moratorium after that. I've spoken with Canton, Woodstock, and Holly Springs. Those city ordinances are up to date enough to not require a moratorium. However, Logan has done some great research for us into our ordinances and found some concerns. With the county adopting theirs at this time, it is my recommendation to council that we adopt a moratorium as well to have staff update our ordinances for better protection and conditions regarding data centers within the city.
I'll make a motion that we adopt this moratorium.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, moratorium's in place. That starts
It'll start tomorrow.
tomorrow? Okay. That concludes our new business. We'll move to announcements by city manager.
Yes, sir. Just a couple of announcements for this evening. We have Art on Main coming up in the middle of September 12th through 13th. It's a great event. It's one of the first ones I came to when I started with the city last year. Really enjoyed it with my family. And it's always interesting to see the different art that people bring. I really enjoy it. Another announcement, we have qualifying dates next week, Monday through Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday are from 9 to 5, and Wednesday is from 9 to 4:30. That's all I have this evening.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow. Okay. Any need for executive session?
No, sir.
All right, council comments. We'll start with Councilwoman Homiller?
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I haven't thought of anything special to say.
Thank you, and when you get your tax bills, remember, we did a rollback. So any of those increases that you see on your tax bill, it's all gonna be county related, so just, our rollback won't be a whole lot, but it'll offset a little bit of what the county's gonna increase, so.
Councilmember Benefield?
The only thing I'd like to add is that this afternoon I had a nice conversation with one of our citizens. And just to remind everybody that we're here and it's just a matter of everyone reaching out to us. We'd love to have a conversation with y'all. That's all.
Councilmember Stanson?
A couple of things. I want to thank Ashley Bird for working with Dean Gorley and his band this past weekend, set up that concert in the city park. That was, got to see a lot of folks there, so thanks Ashley for setting that up. Comment on that Dennis Holt was going to say about the CCR. When he said CCR, I'm like, what are you talking about, Creedence Clearwater Revival? And so it brought up some things, so we're looking at that. So thanks to the area residents for looking into that. So it's enlightened some of us on that. So we've had some nice discussion on that. But thanks for everybody being here, and
Councilmember Barnes?
I also want to thank Ashley and everybody that participated for the concert. That was phenomenal, especially the younger students that were beforehand. That was really cool to see it here in our city. I agree with what some of the other council said, though. I appreciate when people are reaching out to me. You might not come to the right decisions of what they're looking at, but trying to help somebody through some questions, we'll always work our best. So our contact information is on the website. You can call, text that number, email, and hopefully we'll get right back to you on a response on that. This week alone, we've talked about kudzu and a manhole cover plate not in place, and so we do listen to the things and try to get on those right away. Thank you very much.
Thank you. As you know, next week is qualification. And I'm going to ask, I don't know how far it'll go, please, everybody be civil. Everybody up here is here because they want to serve. They all got voted in. They are up here performing service. And we have a good town. We just don't need this to be ugly. And it's kind of already started out that way. And I'll give you a quick example. I'm due up in 3 years and 4 months, yet somebody's already dug into my past employer asking for open records. And there's just no need for that. That's just my personal comments. Please, everybody, be civil in this. We all want to come up here and do the right job, whoever you elect. Mr. DeBoer, do you have anything?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right, that concludes the agenda. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion?
second.
Second? Any discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming out, and good night.